Alright, hi guys. I'm going to be showing you how to run a Sentinel node, and I will also be showing you a few things that you will be needing in case you want to do it. It's completely optional. You can also do it on your regular laptop, but there is also an option for you to do it on a Raspberry Pi system. So you can get a Raspberry Pi either on Amazon or from their website, raspberrypi.com. Personally, I am using a Raspberry Pi 3 Model P Plus simply because of the ports that are available. You can see I bought it on 17th December. So with regard to the ports, here you can see is a micro SD slot, which you will also need. I'm using a 64 GB micro SD. Here are the ports. It has an Ethernet cable, which I do use, and 4 USB ports, and I just use 2 for my keyboard and mouse. Also available is a HDMI port and power port, so which you will definitely be needing. HDMI port only if you really want to see it, but you can also connect to it wirelessly and work on it. The next thing you will need to do to set up your Raspberry Pi is install an OS. So we're going to go here and download the imager to install the OS onto the SD card. I have downloaded Windows and I'm already running it, but it will basically look like this. Yeah, there you have it. And I will choose the model 3, and then if you want to format it, you can. And the OS I will be using is Ubuntu 22.04 64-bit. And then I will choose my storage device, and then the settings. You can choose. I would recommend choosing a host name that you want to, because you will have to constantly be identifying it in your router settings. And then you want to set this as well so that you can SSH into the Raspberry Pi if you don't want to directly connect to it, which is what I will be showing you. And then you want to also configure your wireless. You can also not. I would recommend it just in case if there's a problem with the Ethernet cable, and then you save it. So I'm not going to do that because it's already running right now. We're just going to wait for this to complete verifying. It'll install and then verify. The next thing in terms of setup that you would want to do is contact your ISP and try getting a static IP. It'll just make it easier for you to set up. Otherwise, you might need a dynamic DNS. But right now, I will be showing you via static IP. So, first thing you want to do is once you are online, you will need to make a note of your internal IP that your router has assigned for your device. This IP will be needed to connect to your device via SSH. I have done a reserve IP address so that every time my device connects, it will be only assigned this address. This will be very important for port forwarding later on, which I will be showing you later in the video. The next thing that you will need is the Sentinel docs. Just go to docs.sentinel.co and run a node. Another way, if you want to get to know what your IP address is, you can just Google what is my IP address and click on the first link, and it will show you your IPv4, which is what you want. I have requested from my ISP for a static IP. It's a small monthly additional cost. Depending on your ISP, you might or might not have an additional cost. Two ways that you can get your IP address, IPv4 address, right? This right now that you see here, do not get confused. This is the internal, and the what is my IP address is your external. Both are needed. Okay, now we have Ubuntu successfully installed. We are going to now, okay, it's already done. We're going to quickly get that up and running so that we can SSH into the device. So quickly going to plug it back. I do have an Ethernet cable connected, and I also have an HDMI cable connected to it. But right now we will just be using command prompt to connect. So things mentioned, I do have a dock that I have stored all my data. I will be blacking out most of it. Also, I do have a lot of unnecessary information on it, but right now I won't be needing it yet. Okay, next. We want to SSH into our Raspberry Pi. You need your internal IP address over here. Okay, something. Let's just refresh this once to make sure. You can check this. Oh, interesting. But let's see if this is happening. P. Okay, let's do this. You will not be able to see it, so be careful of what you type. Awesome, we are in. Took a few tries. I will have to change it to make sure it uses the Ethernet connection primarily. Anyway, for now we are in. We are connected to our Raspberry Pi. This is a confirmation of it as well. So now, as I said, it's mostly copy. So copy paste, password, and then we wait. This will take some time. So, but otherwise, this is pretty much what we did. Is this? Yeah. So, if you're doing it manually as well, you want to start over here, and you can also do these as well. Okay, it looks like we didn't get kicked out. That's a good thing. We can move forward. All right. Now, copy, paste. Password. Okay, it's already been done. 0 upgraded. That's fine. We're gonna allow for 22. And it's done. Then we're gonna enable the firewall. It's okay, we can connect back. On system startup, that's fine. So next we're gonna do the Docker. And that's fine. Now we're gonna enable. So this non-interactive, basically if you have your HDMI connected, you can see it run the script, but here we won't see it over here. That's about it. That's why it seems like nothing's happening. But if you have your HDMI connected, you can actually switch to it, or you can even do this on the Raspberry Pi if you're fully connected to it. Anyway, next, I'm gonna do that, and this. That's it. We're not gonna do this. I've not really used it, but I might consider doing it later on. So let's do this. This is gonna basically get everything that it needs from the internet, basically. And if this doesn't work, then what we will be replacing latest with will be just the number. So we go here, or you can copy paste this as well, it's fine. Since I'm already doing it, 0.7.1. That's not happening either. So, which is what I was worried about. So we are going to do it from the second method, from the source, and yes, it is working. That's done. And then we have option 1 and 2. So I guess we're going to try this first, and it worked. Okay, cool. Okay, next step. This might take a bit, I'm not sure. We are done, and on to the next. What did I do? Not this one. This one. So we can just do just this. Then for the rest of it, just gonna do this. Yeah. Okay. And then we're gonna go with these. And then this. Okay. So as it says, don't copy paste. Just only make the changes that are necessary. So we shall keep our. So the first thing that you might or might not need to change is handshake. I'm going to be changing it as I'm going to be doing V2Ray. If you're doing V2Ray, I will also recommend that you change it to false. Then this we can also add actually. Go back here. Yeah. We're just gonna make it easier on ourselves. And take all of this. And then delete the double. Okay. We'll come back down. You can also add these if you want. That's up to you. Then we can come down to this. If you want to run auto restart, you can change this to test. I'm not gonna be, so I won't be changing it. Then we'll come down to this one. Here. This is your external public IP. I think I missed something. Oh, actually, I mean, it's fine. That's fine. So, 1.4. This you can get from what is my IP address. Then we'll come here. I'm gonna change this so I don't need to change my port forwarding settings. Otherwise, I will have to change it in my port forwarding, but I will tell you and show you what I mean. This will be this. Okay, now we need to take this from here. The reason why we're going to residential, because the prices are different for residential. So I'll take this. And then we take this. Okay. Now we'll add this. I'm just gonna manually do this so it'll be faster. Then we go this, the external IP. Okay. Colon. And then your internal IP. And then your port. So the same port over here. Yeah? And then we're going to change this to V2Ray. V2Ray. That's it. Then press escape, save Y, and then enter. And then that's saved. That's your configuration file, which is saved now. Okay. Next, we are going to skip WireGuard. We're going to go straight to V2Ray. If you're doing WireGuard, then do WireGuard. Then this is the configuration file. This we're going to change. So you can see here, this is what you need now, but we're going to change this to what we already have. and I'll show you in a second. Control X, Y, enter. So add a mnemonic, but I already have an account, so we're gonna come here and do recover. We have, yeah, now it's fine. So for all intents and purposes, I have cropped out the part where I add my mnemonic. I just copy pasted it because I had saved it before. And what you want to do is, if you have an account and you want to use that account, well, just use your mnemonic key phrase, copy paste it or type it out, and then you will get your Sentinel node address and operator address. You need both of them as mentioned here, so make sure you save those. Yeah, and all intents and purposes, I have hit the mnemonic, of course, and what you want to do is store your operator address and node address safely, and also the mnemonic. If you're doing a new account, then please make sure that you store the mnemonic, because that's what you need to recover it if anything happens. All right. So from here we are going to move forward. Copy paste password, and we're done. Then now we want to do this. We're going to manually do it because it'll be faster. Sudo ufw allow, and the port that you have put in the configuration file previously. If you've changed it, then you make sure that it matches. I changed it, so I'm making sure it matches. Right? Forward slash TCP. Done. Added. So same thing. Just do this. Press up arrow. The cursor up arrow, and it'll come. Now I will just do the v2ray TCP, and this. Enter. Added. Now we come to this section, right? We go to our router, port forwarding or NAT forwarding, and depending on your router, it might be different. It'll be very different. So I have to add only v2ray port. I'm trying to make sure that I use these as well, just so that it's more easily identified and just easier. See this destination IP, right? That's so you need the protocol, the name, protocol, the port, which is the number, and the LAN port again, the same number, and then this is external, internal, right? And destination, that's your Raspberry Pi internal IP. Okay, so we come here. This is my v2ray port name, external port, internal port. That's your protocol WAN. Oh no, sorry, port and LAN port. Protocol TCP and the internal IP. Save. Same thing for v2 TCP. TCP port name, external IP same, external port, internal port same, internal IPs of the Raspberry Pi that it's going to, and then protocol. Okay. Now, obviously, it's not going to be happening here because it's not yet connected, but I will be getting it connected. But this is just me showing you, and I'll make sure I connect it and I'll show that it's functioning as well. So next is to run the node. If you're doing auto restart, you can directly do it. We are going to be doing without the auto restart. So we're going to first do this. Okay, nothing, it was already done. Next we're going to do this. So this creates a new screen. If you do Control A D together, it gets out. And you do the same thing again, goes back in to the same one. Okay, so but anyway, I'll show you that in a bit. For now, we'll do v2 ray, copy, paste anyway. Okay, that's fine. We'll do this as well. It's okay. Those arrows, these arrows shouldn't be coming. So that's an issue. We'll have to check it out. And we'll come here, remove that, and this. I'll come back. No, actually, I'll do that. Otherwise, I might have issues later. Okay, put that in. Oh, oops. Okay, then come here. It started. It'll take a few seconds. Also, because on a different Wi-Fi, so it is additionally taking seconds. So this is the node that is running. Okay, so I'm just going to show you Control AD detached. Do this. Oh, cool. Sorry. Here, reattach. Yeah. Oh, cool. Sorry, this is to create a new session. My bad. Okay, so we're back here. Password. Enter. And then you're done. Pretty much. But now it's to make sure the health check and everything is kind of up to date and everything. And I'll also show you these things. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Okay, so same thing. Password. Is it done? Yeah, this is pretty much done. We're just gonna check things here. So we can get this. Actually, first do this, because you'll see these. It's up and running. This, if you want to restart, stop it, start, that has already been stopped, and then this is to remove. So once we have this, we do this, which is this, but actually you want to take this, copy that, basically, you want to copy this, and then you want to paste this here. Then it'll show you what's right over there. Now, at Control AD, that would work. So we'll just Control C, okay, to get back to this. And now it's the same thing. If you do this, we'll connect to the same screen, and then Control AD, get out of the screen, detached. Right? All right. If you have multiple screens, then you need to use these codes, but don't need to worry. When you got this, when you have multiple screens and you use this code, it'll show you the different codes, and then you have to use that over here to connect to them. So that's about it. Your node is running. Now let us check your node. We need the dashboard. We need the Sentinel dashboard. Yeah. So I'm gonna go to nodes.sentinel.co. This is where you're going to use your Sentinel node address. Yeah, my bad. Sorry, that's fine. Okay.
So we have nodes.sentinel.co. This is my node address that I'm going to search for. I will get all my details, my moniker name, location, total earnings, speed, price per hour, and per GB. And it shows that my health check is passed and what type of node I'm using. Today's stats, weekly stats, monthly stats, bandwidth, subscriptions, sessions, and dVP earned. So yeah, that's it.
So we'll come here and then we'll take this again. And there we go. So what you want to do is see this. This text basically. You can add your address, it's fine. Just put this here. You can add your address also, it's fine. And things that you need to note. So I'm just going to separate these. And then this, and this. Just to explain it. Yeah, this also.